guys, welcome to Top Dog Tips and another great product review for you. Today I have these harnesses from Dex Dog, and if you already use a harness for your dog, you can check these ones out if you're looking for a new one. If you don't use a harness for your dog, just to get on a soapbox for a quick minute, I use a harness and I highly recommend those to pet parents, and the reason that I say that is because collars there are a lot of downsides to collars that harnesses can correct. So one thing is if your dog tends to pull, and even if they're not a puller all the time, if they do pull, like when they see another dog or when they see another person, if they tend to pull on their leash, that does, if they have a collar on, that does puts a lot of pressure on their throat and their neck and can do some damage very quickly. It can also over time do some long-term damage, so that's something you want to consider. Collars are easy to back out of or try and slip out of. Some dogs will try and back up and like wiggle their head to sort of maneuver it off their head. And collars just give your dog more support. They're more comfortable for your dog. They provide more support. Even if you just walk and your dog constantly walks next to you, anytime that leash pulls or the collar moves, it's on his neck, and the harness kind of spreads that out over his chest. So they're more comfortable for your dog, and they are definitely something that is safer and more effective. So I do recommend harnesses. If you use a collar, that's fine too. Our dogs do use a collar at times, but we live in a very rural area, so when they're out and about, they have that collar on, their ID tags are there, when they're just out in our yard. But if we travel with them or going to the vet, things like that, I like to have the harness. It's just more security. It gives me more of a peace of mind that it's safer for them, and it's going to, I don't have to worry about them slipping out of it or anything like that. Typically. So that's why we use a harness. I received these two harnesses from Dex Dog, and I'm going to go ahead and buckle this one just so it looks a little bit more normal. But this is how it goes on your dog. So his head goes through here, and this strap goes underneath his chest, and then this piece here has the O-ring on it for you to attach the leash, and it also makes a very handy handle, so that if you are, say, walking down the street and somebody comes walking very close to you, you can just grab that handle on your dog, and he can't, go to the extent of his leash to get towards that other person. So I like that feature, and these are the exact same harness from Dex Dog. They're just a small and a large, because we have our small breed beagle and then we have a large breed chocolate lab, so that's why they look different, but they're the exact same thing. You can see this one just has a little tiny handle with a little tiny O-ring, and same thing, it slides over your dog's head, and this part goes around their chest. Now, there are lots of different types of harnesses. Some are called step-in harnesses, which is you can lay them flat, and your dog there's two little holes for his paws, and they step in, and then you buckle. The harness kind of goes down the middle of their chest, around the side, and then buckles over their back. So that's a very common type of harness. Great harness, certainly nothing wrong with those, but they are more difficult to get on, and some dogs are more nervous about that, stepping into those and doing that. What I love about the Dex Dog harness is that you simply unsnap here, you slide your dog's head through this hole here, it goes around his neck, and then you buckle this underneath his chest, and that's it. I'm going to go outside in just a minute and find our chocolate lab Saddie, who wears this harness, and I'll show you how easy that is. So that's my number one reason for liking the over-the-head harness, which the Dex Dog harness is. But there are also some other great features. You can see the little stitch marks. That's reflective stitching, so that if you walk your dog early in the morning or late at night, if you're walking down the road or things like that, that reflective stitching keeps you more visible, which is a really great feature. If you can see, this is the chest strap, the strap that goes under their chest, and that's just a traditional nylon strap. It reminds me of like a nylon leash or a nylon collar. It's just that single layer nylon. But this part that goes on the chest, if you can see that, it has this nice comfortable, there's stuffing in here, and it's got that webbing, so it's padding for your dog in the areas that he's going to be. If you can imagine the leash being hooked on here, this part is on the front of your dog, so if he's walking, this is the part that's pulling, that he's pulling against, it's pushing against his chest. So and then there's padding underneath here as well, So all of the areas that are on the front of your dog that are going to be taking the force of his weight are padded. So I like that as well. And then as I told you, it has this section up top. It makes a nice handle, and the O-ring is here. The one thing that I don't like about this is that when you clip your leash to it and your dog walks side to side, this moves. There's a lot of movement here. And our chocolate lab Saddie doesn't have much of an issue with it, but our little dog Molly, sometimes in the leash, she'll get going over the side and the leash will get tangled around her because of the movement here. So I do prefer a harness that just has a stable D-ring or O-ring right in the middle that doesn't move around. And then the other thing that I've noticed, again, we don't have issues with our chocolate lab, but with our little dog Molly, she's also only a puppy. She's about 8 months old. And twice now we've had these for just under 2 months, about 6.5 weeks. We've had these and we've been trying them. She wears this every day. So it's not often, but twice in the last 2 months, we'll say, in the last 6.5 weeks, she's been able to slide out of this harness. And because this only slides over your dog's head and goes around his chest, if you can imagine that, and it hooks here, his paws are in the middle here to prevent it, but if it happens to slip over his head, there is a way for him to get out of that. Now, I fitted this on Molly, and you can see here, there's an adjuster here on the chest strap, and then there is another adjuster here on the piece that goes underneath the dog, and those are easy to adjust with just like a collar with those sliding adjusters, sliding adjustment buckles, and there's the same thing on the front. So I adjusted it to fit Molly. I use the 2-finger rule that you can slide 2 fingers between the harness and the dog's skin without it being too tight. So I've adjusted a lot of harnesses. We've never had a problem in the past. But I will say Molly and Saddie wrestle all the time, and they're always Molly, because she's so much littler than Saddie, usually is the one that's run over, rolling on the ground, kind of getting folded all up into a little ball when they're wrestling. So, I think that has a lot to do with it, because both times that it's fallen off, they were in the middle of wrestling, and the harness was left on the ground, and they turn into this little pig pile, and they roll all around each other and bite each other and things like that. And when they got up and moved, I noticed the harness laying on the ground. So it definitely comes off when they're wrestling. If you have a dog that doesn't wrestle, or you only have one dog, I don't think you will have that issue, because Molly is very crafty. She's been left alone at home with this harness on before, and it hasn't come off. So I'm sure if there's a way for her to figure out how to do it herself, she probably would have already figured that out. But like I said, I think it's just all that tossing and turning and rolling around when they're wrestling that is what does that. But that is a safety feature to consider, that if you have a dog that is hyperactive and does a lot of movement, you might have to worry about that. So those were my 2 downfalls, was, that has come off of Molly a couple of times. And then again, the movement of that O-ring, that I would prefer a stationary O-ring to that. One other thing that I could mention too is that the hardware is plastic. I prefer metal hardware. This certainly seems to be very durable. On the smaller one, it's not quite as thick plastic, which is kind of par for the course with smaller collars, but this one's very thick plastic, very good quality. You can hear that it snaps in and locks tight. These adjuster stops don't seem to, like I said, the dogs have been wearing these every day now for about 6.5 weeks, and they haven't readjusted on their own. Sometimes you'll set the adjustment, and after your dog, especially with as much as our dogs wrestle and play, you'll notice that those adjusters will kind of slide on their own and loosen up. And we haven't had that problem with the Dex Dog harness, so that's a huge plus for me, because that's very frustrating, and also a safety issue if your dog's if those adjusters are moving and your dog, his harness becomes loose. So that was a big plus for me, that those haven't moved. So again, these come in multiple sizes and multiple colors. You can get them in the black or the pink, purple, turquoise, green, and blue. So a variety of colors for if your dog's a boy or a girl, or you have a certain style that your dog likes or things like that. You can match it with all of his other things. We have pink for our little Molly, because pretty much everything that she has is pink. Her leash is pink. She has a little sweater and things like that. So we matched that with all of her stuff. So you can do that as well. They come in a wide variety of sizes, which is really great, especially for harnesses, because dogs come in so many different sizes, and sometimes you get a dog that's longer in length, but wider in girth, or you have a dog that's got a very narrow little chest and a skinny little body. So that's the wonderful thing about dogs, is that there's so many varieties. But when you're trying to find something like this, like a harness that's going to fit them around their neck and their chest area, that can be a little bit difficult. So it's nice to have a lot of different options. When you measure, you get on their site, and it takes you to Amazon actually to buy their products, and there are specific measuring standards there, so make sure you just follow those very closely. And you're going to measure your dog's neck, his girth, which is like the widest part of his chest, from around his back to the widest part of his chest. And then it also goes by weight. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. I won't give you all the details, and if you want to order one, you can jump on there yourself. But the extra small, which we don't have, we just have the small. There's an extra small that's for dogs 4 to 7 pounds. So if you have even a little teacup dog, Dex Dog makes a harness for them. The extra small is dogs 7 to 12 pounds, and then we have the small size, just the plain small size, which is for dogs 12 to 23 pounds, with a 14 to 22 inch neck and a 15 to 24 inch girth. So that's the small size, and that's what I have here that fits our little beagle mix. They have a medium size, which fits dogs that are 23 to 42 pounds. The large size, which is the one that I got for our Chocolate Lab Saddie, and that fits dogs that are 42 to 77 pounds. And then they have one size bigger, which is extra large, fits dogs that are 77 pounds and above, which is obviously a wide variety, because you have dogs that are closer to like the 80-pound mark, and then dogs that are well over 200 pounds. So it's not going to fit every dog. It's certainly not going to fit extra large breeds. But the extra large harness is 77 pounds and above, with a neck circumference, I guess, of 21 to 30, I believe, inches, and then the girth of 22 to 38 inches. Obviously the size is going to depend on the price. So the extra small is $17, and then the extra large Dex Dog harness is $22, and the other ones fall somewhere in that $5 gap there. So not a whole lot of difference, but somewhere between $17 and $22 is where you'll fall, depending on the size that you get. These come with a 1-year guarantee, so that's great. If you're not happy with it, you can return that. And again, all the different colors. So there's a lot of options from Dex Dog, which is really nice, again, for us pet owners that either want to show your dog's style, or obviously we all have dogs of different sizes and shapes. So there's a lot to choose from. I'm going to go outside, and I will show you how easy these harnesses are to slip on to our Chocolate Lab Saddie. And then if you guys have any questions, you can just contact me if there's anything that I didn't cover. So I will go find her, and I will meet you outside in just a second. All right, so here I am outside with Saddie. She is our Chocolate Lab, and she's already wearing her Dex Dog harness, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to take it on and off. So this is the harness, and I showed that to you. I see you, girl. I showed that to you downstairs. Oh, Saddie. She is crazy right now. So what you do is unbuckle it, and then that loop right there slides over your dog's head. You have, oh, Saddie, come here. See, can we turn you around? Come here. I know, that's good. Come this way. All right. So you slide this loop over your dog's head, not in their mouth. Sorry, Seeds. Okay, so Saddie, over the head, and then this strap under here just goes around their chest, and you snap it closed on the other side, and that's it. You have this part of the harness. Go ahead and, oops, clip the leash to it, and you are good to go. Saddie, no. And it's that simple. So this is why I love the Dex Dog harness. The over-the-head harnesses are really great for that. And just to compare, I'll show you guys. Saddie's other harness is it's called the step-in harness. And these are exactly as they sound. You have to step into them or get your dog to step into them. So come here, Saddie. You put them down. No, I know. You put your dog's paw in each hole on each side, and then you pull it up around and buckle it up around their back. So these harnesses are more work for you. They're trickier for the dogs. As you can tell, Saddie's kind of a goofball, and she doesn't really care what I do to her or what I make her do, but she is a very good sport. But these over-the-head harnesses from Dex Dog are a lot easier. So if you're looking for a harness for your dog, I would certainly recommend the over-the-head harness. Those ones are from Dex Dog, and I will be happy to answer any other questions. If you guys have anything, something that I've forgotten or haven't covered, be sure to send me a message. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave messages there. If you're watching it on our website, which is topdogtips.com, you can certainly leave a message there as well, or a comment, and that will get back to me. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, we're on Instagram, of course YouTube. So any way that you want to follow us, leave a comment, question, suggestion, anything like that, and it'll get back to me. Of course, you can email me at any time. My email is samantha@topdogtips.com, and that information's on our website as well. You'll find my contact information. I'm happy to answer questions from viewers. I look forward to hearing from you guys. So be sure you message me if you need anything else. If you're looking for any other types of reviews, or you have another harness in mind that you'd like to check out, feel free to send that suggestion along, and I'll see what I can do to get that review up for you. If you guys need anything else from me, be sure to contact me. If not, I will see you back again a little bit later on with another great video. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful